Kota tua Magelang mempersembahkan memori Magelang. Bagi Jean Andreas Kell Denis, Magelang adalah tanah airnya. Di tempat inilah ia dilahirkan pada 1939 silam. Di kota berjuluk The Twin Van Java ini pula ia menyimpan memori masa kecil yang tak akan pernah terlupakan, meskipun saat ini ia tinggal di Barcelona, Spanyol. Masa hidupnya berubah kala Jepang menguasai Magelang pada 1942, ayahnya ditawan. Sedangkan ibu, Andreas dan adiknya harus mengungsi ke kampung Paten Jurang dan Tulung. Hingga pada akhirnya, pada 1948 keluarganya harus meninggalkan Indonesia menuju ke Belanda dan lalu tinggal di Spanyol. Sudah 2 kali ia menengok Magelang dan pada tahun 2023 ini menjadi kunjungan ketiga kalinya. Kunjungan kali ini barangkali akan menjadi kunjungan terakhirnya. Memori Magelang akan membawanya untuk bertemu kangen dengan Magelang dan menapak tilas di rumah masa kecilnya di Badaan.
Well, I must say that we were happy to arrive in Semarang. And besides that, an aunt of my mother, who had always lived in Semarang, had found a house so we could get there directly to our home in Semarang. But the first, you can say the first month, Semarang was something I couldn't get used to.
Jadi dari Magelang dia dibawa ke Semarang, tapi untuk sampai ke kota Semarang membutuhkan waktu 6 weeks, right? 6 months, jadi 6 bulan untuk sampai kemudian ke Semarang, karena dia dibawa ke beberapa tempat juga sampai akhirnya dia ke Semarang. Tapi di Semarang dia merasa tidak nyaman dan tidak terbiasa hidup di kota Semarang.
Then after we had to school in Semarang, and there I had also again a problem, because most of the children at the school were Dutch children, and I don't know why I couldn't get, let's say, related with the Dutch children. So I was called the solitary one at school. And I think that has marked the rest of my life. I always have been a little bit solitary growing. But in my mind, there was always the idea, I go back to Magelang. Whenever it's possible, I go back to Magelang.
Ya. Jadi dia selama dia di Semarang dia bertemu dengan anak-anak Belanda yang dia sebenarnya tidak merasa nyaman dengan orang-orang Belanda karena mungkin ada kayak perasaan yang ada ya.
So, but instead of going back to Magelang, they sent me to Holland. And I always remember that I said to my father, what is Holland? Where is Holland? And here again, the meeting with Holland was slightly different for me. Because the first thing I saw when I arrived in Holland were a big board telling, don't go home. They didn't want me in Holland. And I said to my father, okay, if they don't want me, send me back to Indonesia. My father said, no, you are Dutch, so you stay in Holland. And then I got a fight with my father, because I said, no, I'm not Dutch. Because this is truly Java, and my mother is Java. So this I won't forget. This is what I will keep.
Jadi sebenarnya dia ingin pulang ke Magelang, tetapi dia justru dipaksa untuk kembali ke Belanda di mana ayahnya memaksa dia untuk tinggal di Belanda karena dia merasa bahwa Andries ini adalah orang Belanda. Sementara Andries sendiri merasa bahwa bukan, saya adalah orang Magelang, saya lebih merasa saya orang Indonesia ketimbang orang Belanda gitu. Dan ketika dia tiba di Belanda, dia melihat sebuah tulisan yang sangat besar, Indo Go Home, ya pulanglah kamu orang-orang Indo gitu. Jadi di sana situasinya waktu itu bahwa orang-orang Belanda juga tidak menerima orang-orang keturunan campuran seperti Andries ini karena dia memiliki darah Indonesia gitu.
And my life in Holland was just a kind of life. At school, I was always fighting because I was an Indo at school and I wasn't accepted by the Dutch. But when I was fighting, they always told me it was my fault because you are a stranger here. Okay, I accepted that and I said, well, I will not stay too long. I will keep that in mind. Well, I had a very difficult time in Holland, school, etc. So my father got very angry with me. And we started a discussion between my father and me about the question of why I should go back to Indonesia. And I said, well, Indonesia is where I was born, so why not? He said, yeah, but the war has changed everything, etc., etc. And I said, no, wait a minute. It was just a war for independence, so it was a just war. If anyone did something, but the war was just because there was independence in there. And so we got a discussion, and my father got so angry that he wanted to send me to the military academy in Holland. And I said to my father, okay, but I'm not going to be military again. And in the night, I picked up my things and I ran away from home.
Ya, jadi hari-hari pertama dia di Belanda, dia sekolah di sekolah Belanda, tapi karena dia itu seringkali bertengkar dengan anak-anak, gitu, jadi dia seringkali dicap sebagai anak pembuat onar gitu karena dia suka sekali bertengkar gitu, sehingga ayahnya menjadi sangat marah karena dia merasa bikin banyak keonaran gitu di lingkungan dia gitu. Sampai-sampai kemudian ayahnya memaksa Andries juga untuk masuk ke dalam akademi militer, yang itu berarti bahwa dia akan menjadi tentara Belanda gitu. Tetapi dia dengan tegas menolak bahwa saya tidak mau untuk menjadi tentara Belanda gitu. Saya lebih mending meninggalkan Belanda gitu. Dan akhirnya waktu itu ketika dia berkonflik dengan ayahnya, dia kemudian mengemasi pakaian dia dan dia ingin pergi dari Belanda.
And that night I went to the harbor in Rotterdam and I jumped into a riverboat. And I hid in the boat. And so I started traveling all over the world during 5 years. I arrived in Italy. From Italy I went to the Middle East to India, etc., etc. And so during 5 years it went all around the world. And when I was 19 years old, I became rather rich because I worked in Venezuela smuggling. And I gained a lot of money. So I thought, well, it's time to go back home. And I sent a telegram to my father. I will arrive tomorrow by KLM, first class, and I want to meet you.
Jadi dia setelah dia keluar atau pergi dari Belanda, dia keliling dunia itu selama 5 tahun. Dia ke Italia, ke Timur Tengah, kemudian nanti berakhir di Venezuela jadi seorang penyelundup ya. Jadi Andries ini juga hidupnya sebenarnya penuh dengan tantangan dan petualangan gitu, yang ilegal maupun yang legal, semuanya kayaknya
Drug smuggling ya?
sudah mengalami itu gitu, sampai akhirnya dia memutuskan untuk pulang ke Belanda dan ketemu dengan ayahnya lagi. And then what happened?
But I think it was a very good gesture of my father. My father waited at the airport for me. And he was the first one who embraced me when I was willing to ask pardon for what I had done. But he didn't want to talk about it. I was home. His son has come home, and that was for him all that. But anyhow, after so many traveling, I couldn't get used to Holland. Holland is a flat country, and the people are as flat as the country. So I decided to look for a moment that I could get out of Holland. And that moment came because during a holiday in Spain, I met my wife. And after 5 minutes seeing her, I said, I'm going to marry her.
Love at first sight ya?
Oh, okay.
Ya, jadi meskipun dia kembali ke Belanda, tapi dia selalu merasa saya tidak nyaman berada di Belanda gitu. Sampai akhirnya dia memutuskan untuk trip ke Spanyol dan bertemu dengan istrinya, dan ketika ketemu dengan istrinya dia tahu bahwa saya harus menikahi dia.
Love at first sight ya?
So,
Love at the first sight. Ya.
first sight, and the sight is still going on.
Until now ya?
So, I met her, and we talked, and I said to her, I will be back next year. She said, oh yeah, I'll be back next year, and we will meet again. She said, all right. So the next year I went again to Barcelona, but she was working in near to Barcelona on a beach place, the school. So I went there, and in the evening I said, listen, we are going to marry, you and me. She said, no, that's not possible. I said, why it's not possible? I love you, but we're going to marry. She said, no, because we're going to get children which are white and black. I said, what would you do with children who are going to be white and black? I said, there are no zebras. So they are going to be beautiful children, don't worry.
Jadi dia kembali lagi ke Barcelona dan menemui calon istrinya waktu itu gitu. Tapi ketika dia ingin melamar istrinya kaget karena kenapa kamu ingin menikahi saya itu, padahal saya merasa saya apa ya bahasanya mungkin nanti akan menghasilkan keturunan yang kurang bagus gitu karena ada permasalahan warna kulit di situ gitu. Jadi tapi Andries meyakinkan istrinya bahwa tidak gitu, bahwa kamu adalah calon istri yang akan melahirkan anak-anak yang sangat cantik dan ganteng.
So she said, no, I don't know whether we can do it. I said, okay, don't worry. I'm going back to Barcelona, but you will be the one who was asking me to marry. And she said, why? I said, I know that you are going to ask me to marry you. And it happens that that same summer, she was on, how they call it, assembly in France from the Pax Christi movement. And there she met a priest, a Dutch priest. And she told the priest about me, and the priest said, okay, I'm going to Holland, you come with me to Holland, and then you're going to see whether this guy is really telling the truth. So the priest and my wife came to Holland, they called at the door, my father opened the door, and he saw a priest with a Spanish woman. So he came to me and he said, what did you do in Spain? And I said, I didn't do anything. He said, there is a priest and a Spanish woman downstairs. I said, oh, let them come up, that must be Conchita. So, well, she came to ask me to marry her.
Finally.
That's it. Then in the next year, I went definitely to Spain. But I had a very hard time with her parents. They should become my parents-in-law, but they said, this guy, he's born in Indonesia, and he come to Spain. What does he want to do in Spain? So they said, why did you come here? I said, no, I want to marry your daughter. Marry our daughter? That's the problem. I said, no, we are going to marry. But you are Indonesian? I said, and what does that mean? I mean, I'll be your husband and nothing else. But according to Spanish customs, it was very hard to have a girlfriend, you know. The Spanish police was very keen on looking whether you had your arm around her or whether you are holding hands, etc. It was all prohibited. And I said, my God, how are we going to become married if we couldn't even hold hands? But that's all.
Ya, jadi sebenarnya ketika dia sudah ingin menikah dengan istrinya, tapi dia juga memiliki masalah dengan keluarga calon istrinya karena keluarga calon istrinya itu merupakan keluarga yang cukup ortodoks gitu, cukup kaku gitu, karena budaya Spanyol itu tidak cukup terbuka gitu terhadap apa ya istilahnya budaya asing gitu, terutama ketika berhubungan dengan anak perempuannya yang juga ingin dinikahi oleh seorang laki-laki yang entah berasal dari mana gitu, karena keluarganya juga sangat tidak familiar dengan Indonesia gitu. Indonesia itu negara apa, negara mana gitu, jadi tidak cukup meyakinkan untuk keluarganya Conchita gitu. Conchita itu nama istrinya. Is it your name or is this? Jadi namanya Conchita, dan Conchita ini keluarga Conchita belum terlalu yakin gitu untuk kemudian percaya kepada Andres bahwa dia benar-benar ingin menikahi anak perempuannya.
Okay, we got married, we got 3 children, but Indonesia, Tanaya kita was always there present. So my job was a lot of traveling, and I couldn't find the time or the moment to go to Indonesia. But finally, in 1989, I said, I'm going to Indonesia. I have to go there because I can't wait too long. And I said to my wife, you come with me to Indonesia, to know where I was born. And then my 2 daughters said, we want to come also. My wife and my 2 daughters, I brought them to Indonesia. And I did the whole trip, so just from one spot to the other, the whole times, and my wife and my daughters, they really became in love with Indonesia. And they just understood what was happening with me. So since that time, every 2 years, I came to Indonesia. Every 2 years, I felt home again. until 2016, I was in Grand Hotel Amsterdam, it was. Then, I don't know how it happened, but I got in contact with Marcus. And I said to Marcus, I will come, and Marcus said, okay, we will meet in Hotel Atlas. And I thought, okay, I will meet with Marcus. But what happened? When I came down in the hotel in the hall, it was full. And that's how I got to know Kota Tua Magelang. And since that time, Kota Tua Magelang is my kota.
When did you get married? When? What year?
I got married in, let me remember, so already long time ago, 1964.
1964.
Yeah.
And you came back to Indonesia in 1989.
Yeah.
So it was about 30,
25
years.
years marriage. Yeah.
Jadi setelah 25 tahun baru Andries mengunjungi Indonesia, tanah kelahiran di Bali gitu. Dan dia membawa 2 anak perempuannya itu, dan dia ke Kota Magelang pertama kali tahun 2016 di Artos. Waktu itu ketemu sama Mas Bagus juga dan beberapa teman juga, dan Chandra juga, dan beberapa di sini mungkin yang waktu itu masih juga ingat ya, ada yang mungkin dari sini yang ikut waktu itu tahun 2016. Dan itu merupakan momen yang sangat berharga bagi Andries karena dia bisa mengenal dan diterima di Magelang dengan adanya banyak sekali orang-orang Magelang yang berantusias untuk bertemu dan sharing cerita dengan Andries. Karena itu dia merasa bahwa Kota Tua Magelang adalah bagian dari dirinya.
By the way, this trip I made especially for my son, Paul, because he was the only one of my children who hasn't been in Indonesia because of his job, the military services, etc. So this time I said, well, it maybe become my last visit because I'm getting old. Yes, I'm getting old, yeah? That's true. I bring my son to Indonesia and I will show him Indonesia step by step. And since he wanted to see the Borobudur, I said, okay, I'll take that day. We go on to Borobudur, I go down to Magelang. So that's how we arranged the meeting with Marcus to see you all together. Because I must say, although this is probably my last visit, I don't know what the future will bring, but Magelang was always in Kota Tua Magelang, and all the friends I know through Kota Tua Magelang. This will always be kept in my life.
Jadi ini adalah perjalanan terakhir dia di Indonesia karena dia sudah sangat tua, dan juga dia untuk trip kali ini tahun 2023 ini dia membawa anaknya Paul, putra laki-lakinya itu, karena itu pertama kalinya juga dia mengunjungi Indonesia dan dia ingin mengenalkan beberapa kota-kota di Indonesia, salah satunya adalah Magelang, tempat kelahiran ayahnya gitu. Tapi Paul sekarang tidak bisa bergabung karena sedang di Candi Mendut gitu, tapi nanti Paul akan menjemput Andries di sini gitu. Dan spesial juga momen juga bahwa dia tadi bilang bahwa Kota Magelang dan juga orang-orang di Magelang akan selalu ada di hatinya Andries. Ada lagi apa?
5 menit lah. Ya
Sama kalau misalnya saya nanya nanti.
Ya, teman-teman dilimahkan.
Oh ya.
3 menit.
Oke, mungkin ada pertanyaan dari teman-teman yang ingin bertanya sama Andries. Boleh.
Okay, for me, yeah. So it was interesting. It was really interesting. So it's very touching for us, to know, especially for the people who it's the first time to see you, right? As for me, we've met before, right? 2016, and we talked. and things that is so touching and wonderful that you told to us just now. And there are something that I need to ask to you, especially related to your, I need your confirmation actually. So, you said that your father was captured during the Japanese, right? So where did he was captured? Where did he capture?
At the academy.
In the Magelang, yeah?
Yeah.
So he was a military academy trainer or kind of
He was the commander of the military academy of, I don't know the name of the branch yet, but he was the,
commander, yeah?
yeah.
Okay. And then, and your mother is the head nurse of the military hospital.
Yeah.
Okay. And the Rapi one is in here or in
Rapuyan was here in Magelang.
which building, Steve?
Rapuyan, you remember we
Polwil.
Oh, Hotel Montane.
Polwil.
Hotel Montane.
Iya.
Okay.
Jadi waktu dia naik dengan saya dengan Pak Thomas menceritakan gedung Polwil.
Yeah. So Hotel Montane then. It used to be a hotel and you were there before you transported to Banyubi or the other things like Semarang. It's very interesting. It's, here I would like to say also thank you very much that you finally come back here and to see us is very interesting. And hopefully you can come back here again. Hopefully, amin ya. Datang lagi ya, wah besok-besok ya.
I will take ginseng and the vitamins.
Yes. That's all. Thank you very much.
Oke.
Saya mau bertanya, umur berapa Anda pada saat keliling dunia tersebut?
Keliling dunia ya.
Iya, selama 5 tahun itu dia kok berani gitu.
What was your age when you were traveling around the world, and why were you so brave to take those journey?
I was 14 years old
14 tahun.
Berarti kendel.
and I came back home at 19.
Saya kembali ke Belanda umur 19 tahun.
But I wasn't brave.
Iya.
I was very afraid about what I was doing. But with the time, I met a lot of people, all kinds of people. And I must say, I've learned much from the people I met than at school. And, well, maybe that's why I feel always easy with any kind of people.
Dari perjalanan itu dia bertemu dengan banyak orang yang sangat berbeda dari orang-orang yang ada di Belanda, dan sebenarnya dia sangat meskipun dia takut juga sebenarnya melakukan perjalanan ini, tapi dia senang dan bahagia gitu, bertemu sama banyak orang. Ada lagi? Oh.
Saya mau pengen tahu aja. Jadi kalau tadi disebutkan sampai 2 tahun sekali ke Magelang, itu setiap 2 tahun sekali itu apa yang selalu ingin dilakukan di sini?
So she asked you like, why are you keep coming back here? Like what are you doing here? What do you want to do here?
Okay, why I keep coming back to Magelang? I ask you. Because Magelang is inside me. I'm part of Magelang. This is Magelang. This is Magelang. And this is Magelang.
Dia selalu bilang kalau ya Magelang bagian dari diri saya. Kulit saya Magelang, wajah saya Magelang, telinga saya Magelang. Jadi Magelang adalah bagian dari diri Andis yang tidak bisa dipisahkan gitu.
I just want to know what exactly you usually doing in Magelang. Are you still visiting any family there here or?
No, no. I'm getting in contact with Bargos and I said, Bargos, I'm coming.
Jadi nggak ada spesifik untuk mengunjungi kerabat atau teman-teman di sini. Cuma mungkin kayak apa ya, untuk menapak tilas gitu ya, napak tilas dia. Dan ini selalu nostalgia dengan Magelang. Itu.
You usually come visit your home?
Yes, I always go here in front of it just to have a look, just to feel again the tic-tac here. But it's, I don't know how to say, my home in Magelang or the whole of Magelang, the people of Magelang, it's all one thing, you know. I don't make any difference between it. If I think about Magelang, I think about everything, not just one thing.
Ya, jadi Magelang adalah awal mula gitu. Dia merasa bahwa ketika dia terkoneksi dengan Magelang, dia juga terkoneksi dengan yang lain.
For instance, I have been starting writing the life of my father and the life of my mother and also my life. And there is about 50 pages talking about Magelang.
Jadi dia sedang mengerjakan penulisan pohon silsilah keluarga Andries Keldenis itu, dan katanya ada 50 halaman yang khusus bercerita tentang kota Magelang.
Wow.
50 pages, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've told Marcus about my childhood in Magelang. Probably you have written it in the book you made. There was a story about my childhood in there. So that's what Magelang is for me.
Ya, itu yang membuat Magelang selalu berarti buat Andries Keldenis. Gitu. Udah? Ada lagi mungkin yang mau bertanya? Satu lagi? Sudah lebih sih. Sudah lebih.
Oh iya, oke.
Ya, terima kasih Mas Bagus.
Thank you. Kawan-kawan, ini saya ada sebuah tulisan dari Andries Keldenis. Sebenarnya saya ingin bagikan tadi di awal, tetapi saya ingin tidak merusak suasana. Maka ini barangkali butuh bantuan saya. Mungkin teman-teman bisa membantu sekarang. Ini kok menjadi ini ada sebuah oh, mau buka boleh. Ada sebuah tulisan, saya tidak merubah apapun. Jadi bahasa Google, tetapi ya Google Translate, tetapi bahwa kalimatnya sebenarnya terutama di kalimat-kalimat terakhir saya sampai sebenarnya untuk menyampaikan membuat sebuah judul acara sudah cukup berat, tapi Andries cukup bijaksana bahwa di kalimat akhir aku tidak ingin mengucapkan selamat tinggal padamu, tapi sampai jumpa selamanya. Sebuah kalimat yang sebenarnya Andries tidak ingin berpisah dengan Magelang. Tapi apa boleh buat, 3 kali kunjungan ke sini di Magelang, tetap karena faktor usia dan kesehatannya terpaksa Andries barangkali ini adalah suatu saat nanti kita berjumpa lagi, entah kapan. Yang sangat berat sebenarnya. Tapi harapan kita semua, moga aja Andries nanti di Spanyol, di Barcelona diberi kesehatan. Tapi seperti yang sampaikan tadi bahwa dia sebenarnya mau Magelang, kulitnya Magelang, hatinya mau Magelang, otaknya juga mau Magelang. Seperti itu kawan-kawan, dari saya. Tapi sebelum akhir kegiatan ada beberapa sekedar kenang-kenangan buat Andries Keldenis. Yang pertama dari Mas Teddy akan memberikan buku karya Mas Teddy sendiri yang berasal dari skripsi yang dibuat buku, di mana tulisannya adalah membuat tentang salah satunya tentang Andries Keldenis. Boleh berdiri? Boleh berdiri? Boleh diserahkan. Boleh diserahkan. Sebuah momen yang sangat luar biasa, berkesempatan bahwa Teddy sejarah muda Magelang mencatatkan bukunya berjudul Dalam Bayang-Bayang Modernitas Orang-orang Indo di Kota Magelang pada Akhir Masa Kolonial. Kalau teman pengen buku masih ada 3 di depan, nanti plus tanda tangan nanti seperti ini sama Teddy Harnawan. Oke, thank you very much. Berikutnya, oh iya, masih buku lagi. Mas Danu Wiratmoko ini selaku dari Membaca Magelang, di mana Mas Danu, ya walaupun ini buku ya Mas, ini wah, ini mana balik mana Mas? Jenis apa wis? Kenang-kenangan. Keren teman Mas. Balik apa Mas? Dia belum punya buku ini. Ini adalah buku tentang menceritakan tentang masa kecil memori dia Andreas Kelvinis ketika berada di Magelang. Bukunya sangat keren. Ini sudah ditandatangani, sudah ditandatangani oleh Andreas Kelvinis, tapi ini barangkali akan menjadi sebuah memori yang bagus untuk beliau kenang-kenangan dari Magelang. Mas Danu mewakili Membaca Magelang. Oke, turun ki. Sudah rumah radio bareng. Oke, berikutnya kita Bu. Kalau saya kaos bakul kaos. Kaos yang digunakan di sini adalah kaos yang dipesan langsung dari Spanyol, terus kirim ke sana dari Magelang. Kebetulan sudah 2 kali dia kirim, tapi sekarang saya ingin memberinya spesial. Andreas, for you. Supaya dia Magelang. Oke, thank you. Ada 2 kaos. Kaos ini kawan-kawan sudah tahu, dia adalah namanya Johannes van der Stoel. Kenapa saya berikan? Andreas,
Paul van der Stoel.
do you remember?
Yeah.
Dia pernah gendut dengan anak-anak van der Stoel. Ya, jadi dia masa kecilnya sangat nakal seperti yang diceritakan. Dia suka berkelahi kalau dia dibully, dan betul. Oleh anak van der Stoel dia pernah berkelahi. Salah satunya adalah kejar-kejaran di daerah mana dekat kantor Cakpil. Dia pernah gendut. Oke, jadi remember van der Stoel ya. Oke, berikutnya Bu Abang ya. Monggo Bu. Ibu ya menyerahkan nanti.
I'm going to have over.
Yes, Mbak. Wah,
More handsome, eh?
Yeah, definitely. With or without it.
Oke, thank you. Ibu kalian Bu Yayu ini Bu Yayu spesial. Kalau begitu Bu Yayu aja Bu. Monggo Bu Yayu.
This is special. This for friendship this. Indonesia. Yeah. And this is started for that's for my family.
Yeah.
And this is friend of William Memory for Magelang.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay.
I have to hire a plane.
Yeah.
Iya. Lebih ikutin. Oke, thank you. Ada lagi teman-teman? Oke, baik. Kawan-kawan semuanya, pada siang hari ini saya minta banyak terima kasih atas kehadiran kawan yang sangat spesial, yang menurut saya ini kita sedikit Andres ini memegang rekor kedua di mana rumah masa kecilnya berhasil ditemukan kembali. Jadi beliau meninggalkan rumahnya tahun 42, diketemukan lagi rumahnya tahun 2016. Rekornya 74 tahun. Rekor yang pertama dipegang oleh Oma Ivon dari Belanda. Beliau berhasil saya bantu untuk mencari rumah masa kecilnya dengan memegang rekor 76 tahun. Beliau 74 tahun, ini rekornya Oma Ivon 76 tahun kembali lagi menemukan rumah masa kecilnya. Itu teman-teman, moga aja pertemuan pada hari ini membawa inspirasi buat kita semua bahwa masih banyak orang-orang yang sebenarnya hampir mirip kasusnya dengan Andres Belenis, tapi kita masih beruntung bahwa pada hari ini bisa bertemu beliau. Kita nggak tahu kapan kita akan menemukan beberapa hal yang hampir mirip dengan ini. Siapa tahu keluarga kita sendiri mengalami kasus yang serupa. Demikian, saya mohon maaf atas kekurangannya. Teman-teman, ini kami nanti akan packing dulu. Selesai ini kami akan menuju Kembadaan. Teman-teman boleh ikut, silakan. Nanti kita dari sini start pakai motor mampir ke Museum Sudirman. Nanti parkir, kita jalan kaki. Seperti itu. Nah, kalau Mbak Ruri, Mas Biru mau ngobrol-ngobrol, boleh silakan. Boleh foto bersama nanti. Ya, dulu sambil tak packing dulu ya, udah. Nanti, yuk, please sit down. Ya. Apa sopogi? Mau interview jurnalis. Ya, Mas Biru, duduk, yuk, duduk. Mas Biru nih, ngobrol, Mas. Oke. I'm sorry. Your name? Okay, thank you.
You said that this is your last manga?
It looks like, because my wife has some problems with mobility, so I have to take care for her now. So I don't know how things will go. So I don't want to talk about the future. I'd rather talk about today.
Your wife.
Yeah.
You don't have any.
No, the only problem I have is one of my feet. But that's the only problem.
So what do you want to do in your next trip? Is there things that you will do in your next trip?
I myself will not. The only special thing I dare do is this movie, because the trip is not for me; it's for my son. And I want my son to know Indonesia and to see the things of Indonesia. So I dedicate more to my son, showing him the things. And what personally for me was important, this meeting.
Why this is why your son have to visit?
Well, he's the only one from the family who hasn't been here yet. So I said, okay, since I don't know whether I can travel more, you come with me this year to Indonesia and I will show you Indonesia. So that's why he comes.
Your son live in Vietnam.
Also in Catalonia, about 100 kilometers where I am. Same in Spain. You're welcome.
Oke, Francis.
Yeah.
Oke, kawan-kawan, kita foto bersama di depan.
Yeah, I'm told him. I have to make some room in my furniture, right? Oh my goodness, see here.
Hello, sir. You live again?
Yeah.
Ahmed and
Yes.
remember me?
Yeah.
When I see the same with Mustang.
She was a good student.
Yeah, yeah, good. And it's my husband.
Okay.
Well, we just a little bit from it's Kumar.
Okay. Oh, that's something to remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
So do you like it?
Yeah, I like it. Yes, I do. Oh, yes. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
Di rumah mana?
Ah. Yes, of course, I remember.
Yuk, Mbak. Yuk. Hati-hati. Oh, iya.
Finally.
I did it. Ikut ikutan.
Yuk, silakan yuk, merapat, Aziz. Yuk,
Agak-agak sana sini aja biar center.
oh, begitu lah sebenarnya. Oh ya.
Apa dan?
ya. Hati-hati. Orang pas tengah ya.
Rak tambahi sana, yang sini ditambahi.
Terus timbang, Mas. Ayo, Pak. Mas Surat.
1, 2, 3.
4, 5.
1, 2, 3.
Yuk, masuk yuk.
Gaya bebas, ceria. 1, 2, 3.
Sana. Yuk, sana, masuk barisan. Yuk, masuk barisan yuk. Waduh, sinare pas kenceng nih. Yo, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yo, lagi. 1, ru bebas. Ji, ru, lu, pat. Oke.
Terakhir, dadah-dadah.
Yo, dadah. Oh iya ya, yang mau foto spesial.
Boleh.
Oke.
Oke, spesial.
Di sana aja ya.
Always have a special photo.
Yang ini foto. Yang not.
Cari tempat ya, yang ini enggak panas.
Saiso nih ta.
Iya, tapi maunya aku tak isu, tapi kok nggak sampai di sini.
Ayo ganti gaya.
Wah, kelingan tetepane. Baru Mas.
Finally. Thank you very much.
Oke. Yang adem, Bu.
Mantap.
Jadi dia lakukan lama.
And this all was garden. What's your job? Here we have all kinds of fruit.
Yeah, of course. I heard too. Again.
So that was from the Taman Badar. From the Taman Badar. And then before I think it was this side when you look up, you could see
Kalau naik ke atas bisa lihat. Tapi cuma kalau aku kira nggak apa-apa.
That's the mountain that goes to us and then goes to Makau. It's very clear. Single mountain. It's very so rice field and a river.
¿Quieres una foto? Tú y yo. Venga. Anak saya dengan ya sabes de dónde yo me quiere más. Entonces están hablando y la versión
Paten jurang. Paten jurang. Paten. Oh iya.
Yang diselamatkan sama pembantunya itu loh.
Ya, paten itu.
Paten jurang.
Paten jurang.
Kalau nggak Tulung, Paten jurang.
Paten jurang sama Tulung. Dua kampung itu.
Ikut poin tak apa anda?
Kurang lebar.
Apa sih? Oke. One more.
When it broadcast hopefully
One, two, three. Okay. One, two, three. Once more.
It's a photo call. Satu dua. Cheese. Mantap. All bien? All well? All well, all is well. Okay.
Oh iya.
Kenapa Bu? Oh video.
Marcelo.
Oh Barcelona. Oh ya.
Different angles, positions.
Oke. Ya.
Oh yeah. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow in Malang. Where?
The day after tomorrow. On the way to the Jember. Yeah.
Sorry for how
Here. Till 1942.
Iya ya. Kenapa ya? Oh iya. Oh ya. Amri malah paling
1942.
ini ada timer di sana. Foto ya. Ya.
Saya pikir harus bayar, ya.
Lain kali harus bayar. Kasih, thank you.
Saya bagus ini.
Kakak sih rumah mana?
Oke.
Sudah selesai dia pulang sampai.
Bagus.
Hati-hati ya. Hati-hati. Makasih kawan-kawan semuanya. Turun. Paul, hati-hati. Makasih. Terima kasih, Pak.
Foto di sana aja. Firman. Iya, iya. Oh, mau foto di situ. Iya, iya. Karena ini kan nanti saya di sini ngetek tentara itu. Oh, dia di mana?
Itu hanya bukan latihan itu sudah mau.
Bukan.
Suami nih, istrinya.
Oh, maaf.
Iya.
Sekarang dia.
Oh iya. Interview.
Paul.
Masa tempat tinggal gue.
Because anytime they say he asked me to very or 1 day holiday in my job. My job this time is an exception. It's special because I talked with my company boss and explained that it's a special occasion for my father.
Okay.
The last time we can travel.
It's a nice boy, right? It's a nice boy. Nice son. It's a nice son.
Well, okay. He doesn't want to marry, eh?
I'm single.
Dek kalau tahu saya ambil balik. Gimana? Oh, iya orang di sini.
Itu ada konten YouTube nggak?
Ada.
Ini apa namanya?
Apa?
YouTube-nya apa namanya?
Oh, Widayoko Magelang.
Akhirnya Mas.
Ya.
Foto dulu, Pak.
Silakan semuanya Bapak Ibu terapas di sini. Boleh yang muda-muda boleh semua dipas. Yang muda-muda
Silakan kamera yang bagus. Silakan kamera yang bagus. Monggo-monggo yang lain yang Mas Joyo. Tolong ini, Mas. Monggo-monggo.
Terima kasih telah menyaksikan video ini.
Satu, dua.
Oke. Oh, biar
Soal cahayanya ini. Satu, dua. Bebas. Satu, dua. Bentar. Tahan. Udah, Mbak. Satu lagi. Satu, dua. Satu, dua. Udah, Mbak.
Thanks for this day. Ya, salam buat Mas Doli.
Lima dua. Bu, tasnya kebalik, Bu. Nah.
Okay, 1, 2,
1 picture, last picture. Foto bersama last picture.
Yang belum Mas.
Jelas. Momento, que tiro esto.
One minute. Dikeploi Mbak Dias. Saya mau foto ya.
It's really the last.
Last picture.
Ya.
Mbak Dias ini diculik.
Mbak.
Bayu.
Mbak Yu.
Mbak, ayo Mbak, quickly Mbak.
Mbak Dias.
Malu-malu.
Aku maunya foto cuma sendiri sama Paul.
Oh iya, ya wes, ya. Udah ini sudah.
Enggak.
Waktu di
Yo, perempat. Ya, enggak apa-apa. Yo. Oke. 1, 2, 3.
Oke, matur nuwun Pak Widoyoko. Disnya Widoyoko.
1, 2, 3.
Three more.
Another more.
105.000
Kali. Times. 100 times to take picture.
Adis,
Many.
you remember? Widoyoko,
Yeah.
the best dokumenter.
Pak Wis mah nggak foto dong sama.
Amit, ya Pak.
Nggak foto, Pak Wis ya foto.
Mboten.
Oke.
Ya. Yo kayak foto ning mobil yo.
Sampai jumpa.
Sampai jumpa.
Wis, one picture wis. One picture. Oh,
Esto.
wis,
I can see the end.
wis, wah koyo artis yo Anki yo. Oh. Thank you, hati-hati. Matur sangat Pak. Hati-hati Pak. Pak sampai jumpa kita di Barcelona Pak. Thank you Pak. Hati-hati. Oke. Terima kasih. Matur nuwun. Amigo. Oke. Ya. Freedom Catalunya. Merdeka Catalunya. Oke.
Terima kasih telah menyaksikan video ini.